Are you gonna like introduce it?
I just started. Hello,
Oh,
everybody. Welcome to the Let's Talk podcast. Um, it's Huntavious, and I got Nick here. So,
yeah. What's up?
just want to thank
Oh,
everybody for joining us. Um, so it's a little podcast we decided to start where we're just gonna kind of talk about topics and things that we just feel like we should kind of get off our mind. So, kind of like a serious talk situation. So,
yeah. And were we gonna do this like every Saturday?
yeah, I think
And
we
we've
were gonna
already missed.
attempt to do it
We were
Saturday,
gonna do it last
and
Saturday,
we
and then that
missed.
didn't happen. And then this Saturday got canceled. We're already missing dates.
It's all right. We got it. We didn't disappoint. It's Sunday, so we're doing this. Hello to the 6 people watching. I never expected one person to watch this, so this is good enough in my book.
That's
So,
crazy,
7
bro. This is
people. Oh my
Taro,
god.
and then
Alright,
who's Charles Kimberly? I don't
that's
know that.
Charlie. That's my friend. Hi, Charlie.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so let's go ahead and just start off. Nick, you want to start? Or you want me
Uh,
to?
you can start, I guess.
Of
I'm
course.
bad at this. Let me just
Okay.
throw all the pressure at you.
So basically, kind of our first conversation that we wanted to bring up was sort of the thing going on, friendship, and going into high school. Like, deep convo right here. So,
Yeah.
basically, easiest way to put it, we're just gonna start off in this kind of situation. So, think of it this way. A lot of people I know are sorry, I'm sick if you can't notice.
We're
So
both sick and it
give me
sucks. I'm on meds to fix it. I took like 5 pills at once. Feels bad.
yikes. All right,
And it's like
Nick,
2 of them were
you
to make me
start
fall
talking.
asleep, and then one was supposed to like make me
Oh god, I'm
sleep.
losing my voice. You start talking. Give me a minute to clear my throat. I'm gonna mute my mic.
All right. So basically, the topic that we want. That's not muting your mic. I don't know if that mutes your mic for the podcast, but I can still hear you coughing
No,
and
you
dying.
can. You can. The stream can.
Oh, okay. But like our first topic was like kind of like high school and friendship and how it's like you kind of like lose friends as you go through high school, and it's like people that you think that you're like never gonna stop talking to, but it always ends up kind of like ending in some way. And it's like pretty much like I've lost plenty of friends. Like a lot of the people I used to talk to in like elementary school, even like my neighbors I used to talk to like all the time. I don't talk to them like at all anymore. I can't remember the last time I like actually like did and had like a serious convo with them where it's like I'm actually talking and actually enjoying it. It's like I don't really have many close friends anymore because a lot of my close friends are either making bad decisions or just doing things that I really don't want them to do.
Yeah, my
And I
voice
just
is sort of less dead, but like adding on to that kind of topic of like losing friends, bad decisions. Like people think that they're obligated to do things because other people do them. Like the whole vaping thing going on. Like before, especially before there were
yeah.
rules put in about it. At least at school, it was just like everybody was doing it. I remember freshman year, my first week. I mean, this was last year, so it's really not that big of a deal. But like walking into school, that was like everywhere. And the first week of school, I went into the bathroom, and it was legit like I walked into a cloud of cotton candy. Like that was all I smelled, and I didn't understand this whole trend why people were doing it. And it's just like people think doing this stuff is cool, and there's really no point in it. Those e-cigarettes and stuff like they're made for people trying to quit, not for teenagers to go and just try to be dumb and cool and like, oh, it's the trend, it makes me feel good. Yeah, but that's not what it's meant for, and you're hurting yourself in the long run, especially these people not telling their parents about it. It's just
Yeah.
it hurts them. So, I
Like I
don't know.
mean, I don't know, like because for me freshman year it's like I kind of went through like a depression phase and like kind of like lost myself a bit. I used one like a little bit. I didn't actually like own one. I kind of like hit it like a few times and I was like, okay, this is really stupid. It really doesn't like have a major effect. You just blow smoke out of your
Yeah.
mouth. It's like not cool or anything, and you just damage your lungs.
I mean, that's
I
kind of
don't.
a lower topic on the spectrum, but I mean, there's just people like they get into high school and they're like, oh, there's a lot of older, cooler type kids here. I'd rather talk to them and be on their cool side, and it's they ditch the people who have always been there for them. And I
Yeah,
personally, I had to deal with that, and it sucked because I had to lose someone really close to me. But it's that's what happens.
I think for me, it's kind of like I'm used to the whole idea of losing people in a way, and it's like I understand it's like something that I can kind of like. I kind of accepted the idea of that being a part of the world because it is, and it doesn't really affect me as much, but it still kind of sucks. And it's like one of my friends, it's like he just started getting into like drugs and vaping, and
Uh-huh.
it's like I was still talking to him, but then over the summer I completely stopped talking to him. Then this year I've completely dropped him, 100%.
Yeah. It's
It's
just
like
yeah, I get
I,
what
don't,
you
I
mean.
just didn't want to. I didn't want to deal with it anymore. It's
A lot of people, once they get into those bigger friend groups, are kind of just like, oh, I don't really need these people, or like not these people like that they're hanging out with, like their old friends. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna mention names, of course, but like I had a friend and he was going and hanging out with all these kids, and they were doing drugs and who knows what. Honestly, I don't talk to these people, but this was someone that I had always talked to, a good friend of me. He was close, and then he just started drifting off. And I tried to make plans with him, and he'd always just be like, "Oh yeah, we'll be friends again," and then blow me right off and go right, not like that, and go right back to just his little bubble that he wanted to stay in with the people he thinks are like there, but they're really just. It's like a social group. I'm trying
yeah.
to think of really how to word it, but I think you can kind of see what I mean, and I hope the people like watching or listening, I should say, actually know what we mean too.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't know, I feel like nowadays just people are just they follow what other people do. It's like
Yeah,
with social media, as good as it is, it still has like a lot of negative impacts. It's like people just see what people like what other people are doing, try and like copy it, add their own special twist onto it. But they
yeah,
aren't really being who they are, they're being who people want them to be.
yeah. Stephanie in chat, she just wrote, I had a friend my freshman year, who was stealing medical marijuana from her dad and trying to sell it, or was selling it to try and fit in. So
Wow.
that's ouch. And I mean, I'm hoping that her parents or her dad didn't know that was going on. And but that's kind of messed up to go to that extent just to fit in with people. And too many people do this kind of stuff, and it's a shame, really.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like it's people just I don't know, they just it's weird how to like I don't know how to like properly word it. It's just they want to fit in so badly because they don't want to be the outcast when being the outcast really isn't that bad. I would say I'm kind of the outcast or like I was last year, but it's like it's really not that bad. Like you don't need a giant friend group. All you need is like a couple close friends that understand you.
Yeah.
That's really it. That's what I have right now, and it's like it's pretty
Yeah,
good.
I'm happy with my friend group right now. I think I have like realistically like people that I talk to on like that I trust would be like 5, 6 people maybe.
Yeah, it's like
And I'm
they're
good with that. It's so much better to have that freedom of just having a select group of people that you know that are always there for you. People who have always had your back. I mean, there was a whole drama situation. I'm not really going to get into it, at least right now, that I had with one of my friends. And, like, I ended up getting into all these fights with him and ended up having another friend who I had trusted, but he ended up being there most for me and helping me through the whole situation and there to talk to me, who I could actually talk to and not have issues and have to worry about them going and telling people stuff. And
yeah,
people just
it's
need to realize who's actually there for them and who's just there for the popularity gain.
yeah, it's kind of like now I just have like a lot of people that I talk with, and then like only like a couple friends, pretty much. It's like there are a bunch of people that I'm fine with talking with, but for the most part, it's just like I don't really have many people that I'm actually like super trustworthy of. And then also, just take a minute to go back to the chat. It was Stephanie. She said that she had to threaten to call the cops to stop her from. That's okay. That's actually insane.
Yeah, that's
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 really
a rough
bad.
situation there. And then I kind of that sucks for that person. I mean, I don't really know who it is. I feel like I briefly heard about this in the past, but ah,
I know something like not really like this, but there was like some girl. She would like either I think it was like she would smoke medical marijuana with her stepdad. I think. I
mhm.
I think so.
I
I
think I
don't
know what
really
you're
remember
talking
the full
about.
story. I don't remember who she was 100%. Honestly, it's just I don't know the way the world
Yeah.
is right now. really weird. It's in a really messed up state.
Yeah, I'm not. We're not trying to like go into this podcast and try to like offend anyone. I mean, people do what they want. People are curious. I understand that. Like, do what you want, try it, but just realize some of the consequences of it, especially in like the drug type topic.
Yeah,
Those have
realize that
serious impacts, and people don't understand that.
yeah, is like the couple hours worth of constant happiness really worth all of the negatives that's gonna put on your life?
Yeah, and if you have to rely on something to the point where you can't like go a day without it, it's an addiction. I know a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, I smoke every single day, but I'm not addicted to it. I just do it with my friends to be fun. That's an addiction. No matter what you say, like, that's an addiction. If you need it to survive your day, it's an addiction.
Yeah, like I remember was it like in one of my classes, some kid was saying like it was these two kids. They were both like they both had jewels. I think I don't know something like that. It was like this one kid. He was like, "Yo, can I borrow your jewel real quick?" Hits it. And she's like, "Thank God, bro. I didn't get to hit one at all yesterday." And she's like, "Really, man? You're seriously just gonna make that decision?"
I
Just
know, like, every time that I walk into the bathroom at school, everybody's always going to be there to ask you, oh, do you have a jewel I can borrow, bro? And
people
I kind of just
like
look at them and I'm like, hey, do I look like someone who would bring a jewel? Probably not. But having to ask that, especially to need it to that point where you have to ask a random person who you don't know what they laced it in. They could have put something weird in their jewel. You don't know.
exactly, and it's like I don't know. I don't really have that problem because I just leave my earbuds in, so most people just leave me alone.
You're
Which
the
it
antisocial.
I'm pretty much antisocial unless like I know people like the only way I ever like become like really social is like if you introduce me to someone. Like if my friends introduce me to like someone that they're friends with, then I instantly know that we're kind of like similar, and then I already know that I can like say certain things and not be like super offensive or anything like that. They'll be fine with it, and it's like I won't piss them off, and I can be more so me rather than having to fake it until I know them. You know. It's like one of the things. It's like, especially like nowadays, it's like the whole like social pressure of like being cool, having like a lot of friends, like looking really good, stuff like that. Like, it's like it puts like a lot of pressure on you. Like whenever you're put into like a group project with like some kids that are just like, oh, they're like the kids that do that or try and be like super cool and do crazy stuff. It's like you kind of have to pretend to be someone that you're not, and it just.
Yeah.
It really kind of breaks you down because you start to forget who you are as a person, and you just kind of get lost.
Yeah, on that topic of like people trying to like I guess quote unquote fit in, like clothes. That's a big one, right? They're expensive. Like I don't know how people are getting the money to buy like these like whole Hollister, Abercrombie, Supreme stuff. I mean, I went on Supreme and I couldn't even get like a t-shirt for like 50, 60 bucks. I mean, don't quote me on that.
No.
But something like that, especially in a guy, all right? Guys, especially throughout high school, are growing. And you're going to buy a shirt your freshman, sophomore year that you're not even going to be even to English. You're not even going to be able to wear next year. But you're going to go out there and spend that $60, $70 on something just so you have that trend. And, like, I mean, I like clothing, I like brands and stuff, but one thing that really bothers me is people who judge on clothing. I know I used to have an issue. People always made fun of, like, shoes that I wore because I like wearing boots.
And I do that as, like, a joke.
Yeah, I know. It's a joke, it's fine. And if you're doing it with your friends...
shirt, you're not cool, something like that.
But yeah, I get what you mean. It's just like you kind of get what I mean. Like, it's just like they have to point you out on those things and just try to drag you down on it.
Yeah, it's like for a while I really didn't care about how I dressed, but then it's kind of like my mind changed like a little bit. It's not like I'm gonna like spend like $1,000 on a shirt or like some shoes, but I'll just like wear some nicer clothes. Pretty much, I'll wear some nice, comfy clothes that like don't look that bad. I'll do that.
I just read in chat, Stephanie put, what bothers me most is how much people get away with it. I knew a guy who puffed clouds in a teacher's face, but since he didn't have it on him when he was searched, he totally got away with it. Ooh. Yeah, this kind of stuff in school especially now with all the rules that they're implementing. I mean, I think they put at our school it's like a drug charge now, or a tobacco carrying charge if you have a vape on you, kind of thing.
Yeah, and then it's like I think it's they were saying during like the whole assembly thing, it's
Uh-huh.
like if it has marijuana in it, then it's like an extra 3 days of suspension or something
Yeah.
like that,
Um,
or OSS. I can't remember it exactly.
Razin put in chat. That's so true, though. I think he was talking about the topic of like people using vapes to fit in. I was walking with some
Yeah,
friends, and a bunch of sixth graders came up to us asking for pods. Like, what is wrong with kids these days? You're so young, and that can ruin your life. And that's so true. I know so many people that have like gotten in so much trouble and just gotten hurt and dragged down by this kind of stuff, and it's I don't know.
yeah, like it was in another one of my classes because it was like sitting like at like a group table or something. This is kids just talking about vaping and how like one of them was saying like, yeah, there's this gas station you could go down to, and like this guy doesn't care how old you are, he'll still sell you vapes or
That's
like
messed up.
jewel
I
pods.
think I
And
know
it's
what you're
like
talking about too.
$50. Yeah, and it's like $15 per pod. Like how many do you go through, and how do you have the money to like
Yeah, where
spend
do
on?
they get the money for this stuff? I mean, I
It's
realize you
like,
can resell, but you're not gonna get that kind of money
and
reselling.
it's I don't understand like why people want to do it so badly because you could be safe. Like I'm sure that if someone goes through like 10 pods, that's like what $150.
Sure, math.
That money could be put to something else. Like maybe like if you want to go to college, then you could put that towards like college loans or getting a car, or maybe buying something else that could help you in life or something. It's like you, you, the money adds up quick, and I don't understand why
Yeah.
people keep wanting to do it because it's like it's just to the point
Somebody
where
else put Charlie. He put I know right again
that's
about
Charles.
yeah, same thing. I'm an eighth grader, and people at my school are getting arrested for like drugs, vapes, and yeah, that kind of stuff is just. This is not the kind of stuff kids should do, and the kids that are normally doing it is these people who are looking up to their junior, senior, even sophomore brothers and sisters, and see them doing it, and they're like, oh well, if they do it, I can do it, and then they spread
And
it around.
YouTubers.
I mean, there's literally kids vaping with jewels and stuff in elementary school. As sad
Yeah,
as that sounds, that should
but it's
not
like
have to ever be a problem in an elementary school.
I kind of feel a little hypocritical though, because it's like I'm always just saying like, yeah, doing drugs and stuff like that is super bad.
Huh?
But then there's like this like one YouTuber, Swagger Souls. I don't enjoy watching his specific content, but I love when he's in videos. And it's like he smokes like a lot of weed. He's just like he's known for smoking weed pretty much, and it's always really funny when he does it. But it's like then I feel kind of like hypocritical because it's just like I'm saying that it's bad, but then I'm supporting the fact that this dude does it.
You see,
I
in
don't
my
know how
kind
to
of
feel.
opinion, I'm not a hater towards that kind of stuff. If you want to try it, or if you want to do it, that's totally fine with me. But two things on that. First thing, I feel like any addiction is bad. If you have to live with something and you can't live without it, it's bad for you. That makes sense?
Mhm.
And second thing on that is just I don't really know. It's like I believe that like marijuana, right? Especially medical marijuana that's what its use should be. It should be something that people who deal with Crohn's disease, people who have cancer, people who want alternative like methods to a medication should be able to use like this kind of stuff. But I don't really feel it to
Yeah.
be something that a 15, 16-year-old kid, and I mean this is coming from my perspective, so I don't know if I'm really one to talk, but it's just I don't think something a kid in high school should be doing that kind of stuff frequently. It's just I don't know.
Yeah, it's also like while they're growing up too, like you don't know what effects that could have on you. Like you're growing up, things in your body's changing. Like what it could do some weird stuff to you and like completely mess you up.
Yeah, I know. And there's just
Like
people who don't even want to do it, but they try it just to, like, oh yeah, I tried it, I'm cool. And
yeah,
and they
I
ended up
kind of
they end up getting anxiety from it and end up getting issues, and they can't tell, like they can't go up to their parents and be like, hey, I smoked weed, because they're gonna be like, oh, now you're in trouble for that. So just moral of the story to that topic, I guess, is do what you want, try what you want. Sure, it's good to try, experiment, and just see what happens. Just realize the consequences, and like with the subject of parents, don't be an idiot, I guess. Easiest way to put it.
Yeah, another way, like I feel like parenting in a way has become more difficult because as things get more digital, it's hard to like monitor and see like what your child is
Yeah.
up to, and like see like what they're saying online, what they're saying about people, and how they're acting because they can easily act one way around their parents and act like a completely another way like around their friends. Like that's kind of like me. It's like it depends on like what group of friends I'm around. I'll be kind of different,
No, I know
and
what you
it's like
mean.
I feel like that isn't really that bad because it's just kind of bringing out the best of you, whereas there's sometimes just faking something completely.
I get what you mean there, and
Oh.
there's a lot of people who act fake around certain people. Like they're really friendly to your face, but as soon as they get around their popular friends, they don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah, exactly. They just don't want to be known for hanging out with you or being friends with you, kind of. It's like, I don't know. And there's also like the topic of like really bad role models that people are picking, like
Oh my gosh! Don't even get me
rappers
started.
and there's like rappers and YouTubers. There are like some really bad ones. It's like all of the rappers. I hate the fact that whenever they refer to women, they either say bitch or hoe or
Yeah.
slut or it's like, could you really not come up with anything else? Like,
Really though.
why do you
And
have to use that? Like,
oh my
why they?
gosh, one thing
It's
me and
like
my mom
rappers.
always talk about. Every single song. I don't think maybe a handful. You could go on the radio right now, tune into your normal pop station, and not hear a reference to sex, drugs, anything like that. Like, I don't think I could listen to a song without it having to be mentioned at least once in modern music.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's like,
modern pop kind of thing, or rap or stuff like that. There's no song, again, maybe like a handful, that don't say something about sex, drugs, doing them both at the same time. It's just,
yeah,
I kind of get my point there. It's
yeah. And then there was
so
this one
mainstream.
dude. It was a Boont Gang, and what he ended up doing, it was like he got popular on Instagram, and pretty much this whole thing was just stealing shit and then screaming Boont Gang, whole lot of gang shit, and running away. And it's like he was really stealing it, and people were like following him, just like supporting him, and it's just like, are you really gonna support that? He's breaking the law. Why are you gonna support him?
Yeah. One thing I do need to add in, Stephanie just put in, is slut shaming is such a big problem. I don't think people realize how often it happens. I'm
Yeah,
friends
no,
with a
I
lot of
know.
girls. Most of my friends are probably girls, I'm not gonna lie. And they always end up coming to me with these kind of issues. Like, because I talk to my friends about the stuff. I try to, like, give them advice, sort of thing, to help them. One of my friends in particular, again, I'm not gonna say names, but she had problems with guys just always, like, being like that sweet guy, like, oh, I really want to be with you, you're really cute, and then that immediately switches right over, and it's like, okay, yeah, sex, and if you don't give me sex, we're not together.
Yeah, it's
And I have a friend, and she always comes to me, and that same issue always happens with her.
yeah, it's just guys now. They're just, I don't know. They're just,
It's
it's
like
so
an
weird.
object to them. Not
Yeah,
all guys, of course. There's plenty of guys who don't really look at their girl like an object. It's like someone
yeah.
to have for love and attention. And
It's just
like
hard to find.
most guys want a girlfriend, especially in teenage years. Because keep in mind, this is kind of all more towards high school, middle school kind of era.
Yeah,
Most guys in our age group want a girlfriend for sex. That's it.
yeah. Like
Sex and
I
somebody to
just,
lean on and be able to say, like, yeah, this is my girlfriend, be jealous.
yeah. People like, cause like, whenever I'm going through Snap, I'll just see on stories like at like 11:11, and it's just be like at you know who you are, or it's like
Uh-huh.
with my girl or something like that, or like I've been with my girl, she's like the greatest thing ever, and we just write like a paragraph supporting her, and she's like, that's great, but I feel like you're doing it just to show off. You know, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like you're just trying to show
Yeah, I mean,
that
I
you're in a
think that's
relationship.
okay
And
to
that you're,
do, not like on an everyday basis, but just as like
yeah,
to put in your Snapchat every once in a while or something like that. Like take a picture of your girlfriend and be like, she's so beautiful, like she's my life kind of thing. I mean, that might be exaggerating, but
yeah, I know, cause it's high school.
yeah, exactly. But like doing that every day, and I don't have anything like I guess against that, because if someone wants to be proud of that and their girlfriend's okay with it, go for it. But just
Yeah,
be
if
reasonable,
they just
I
if they
guess.
just take it too far, then it's just it's it feels weird. And it's like, okay, well, Hunter's dying.
Sorry, I keep coughing. I just keep muting
That's
my
fine.
mic.
All right, but it's like, yeah, it's just people. And it's like the whole like role model thing. It's like there's so many like rappers and stuff. They just really don't take into consideration who's listening to their music. And there's also like kids. They're so like impressionable, because there have been times where it's like I'm on YouTube and then I hear some drama, and it's like as soon as I hear one thing about someone, I remember this like back when I was like younger, and I still kind of do it to this day. It's like I hear something and I'm just like, wow, this guy sucks, without even listening to his side of the story or hearing some evidence supporting why this opinion is popular. I'm just instantly like, I don't like this dude because someone that I look up to said it. And it's like people really they just don't think for themselves. They kind of adopt the ideas of the people that they look up to, and there aren't really many good role models left. Because like there are a lot of people that get into like fights, they'll say certain things just to try and like piss people off or start drama for views and more money. And it's like they just want to create more publicity for their channel rather than actually like building a good community, and they end up destroying more so than supporting. And then there's also like things like Lil Tay. It's like she got popular on Instagram. She was supported for screaming at people, showing money, and showing how rich she was. It's like, do you really want to support that? Is that really something that you want?
Tyler just put in chat, the main problem would have to be that there is a standard for girls, because if they don't look like a Barbie doll and wear Gucci clothes with big breasts, they're unexpected.
Exactly. Or people are just constantly
unaccepted.
Subjecting them. You gotta be like this. You gotta look like this. You gotta have this. You gotta talk like this. You gotta walk like this.
If you don't have big boobs and a butt, then I can't date you. If you don't wear Hollister and Gucci and Supreme, or have a $800 purse, I don't know, I can't be with you.
Yeah, it's like.
And again, like, I'm fine if people can wear what they want, and if they have the money and that's what they want to buy, they can buy it. But I just don't think that it should be something that needs to be like a stereotype. What you wear, how you act, the people you're around should not affect anything. And
yeah, and people shouldn't feel a need to change themselves just because people don't like who they are. Just because people say that you're one way doesn't mean that everyone thinks that, because not everyone does. There's still going to be those people that love you and want to support you. You just have to find them and hold on to them for as long as possible. Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's just the world is just getting like
worse.
A lot. Yeah, worse.
By the day. And then we have all the issues going on with school security and shootings. That's a whole nother topic. And I mean, I don't really want to bring that up because that's kind of a deep topic. But
yeah, and
like we had a code red at our school not too long ago, and it was literally
that's because someone was robbing.
Yeah, there was a robbery nearby kind of thing, but it was to the point where we were all terrified in the room for a robbery. No one was even on the campus, but they had to shut down the school because, of course, the robbery was somewhat nearby, like I think like 5 miles sort of thing.
Yeah, and that makes sense because it's like just for protection, but no one in my class really cared because I was in biology, and like I hate the people in my biology class. Like,
it makes sense. It's just it sucks how we can't go to school without having to be terrified.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm not really scared of it because I don't know. I don't know. I probably should be because I really want to put as much hope as possible into the community, even though it's just kind of destroying itself.
Yeah.
But it's like in my biology class, it's like two girls that sit behind me. It's like there's this one kid in the front that'll like occasionally talk to a teacher, and then they'll just be like, "Yo, just shut the fuck up, no one cares." But not actually like say it to him, just like be like, "Who actually really cares? Like, just shut the hell up. No one cares about what you have to say." And it's like, could you like, you don't even have to listen. You could just talk to your friends that are like right around you. You don't have to listen. You don't have to constantly bitch about it. Just leave them alone.
People join other people's conversations just to like make fun of them.
Yeah, it's like leave him alone. You don't have to associate with him. You don't have to just talk down on him just to be like, yeah, I don't like this kid. I don't associate with him. You could just be like, yeah, no, we aren't friends, without just having to put him down. That just breaks people down. And another thing, it's like a lot of people I find are looking for things to blame other than parenting and social media.
I
Like,
mean,
hang on, give
social
me a second.
media, yeah, I guess that's it, right. A lot of the stuff that people have, a lot of like, I guess the problems that people have is all having to do with their parents, really. Like, a lot of these problems, oh, my parents, oh, that's an ad. Let's that. Oh, my parents smoke. I should do it too. And
Okay,
a
well,
lot of,
I'm back.
oh, okay. And like some people, like their parents, and I feel bad for these kind of situations, but their parents will like be, I don't want to say abusive, but like I guess not caring for their kid. If that makes sense.
But it's also like the way people paint it is like if you're like look going through your friend or going through your child's phone, then you're obsessive and you're crazy. If you aren't doing that, then you're just a parent that doesn't care. It's like there's no middle ground. And it's like the only way to see what your kid is up to is just to go through their phone.
Yeah.
But then they'll just forcefully delete it. There's no way of really being a good parent with how this is. And then like the media, they'll just like if some kid like if they're like kids shooting up schools or not doing good in school, what's the problem? Gaming. It's an addiction.
I know most of these
And it's like
issues
parents should
could
be
have
able to bounce.
all been stopped if people had just paid attention to what their kids put on social media. Like plenty of kids on Snapchat putting in their streaks pictures of guns, pictures of drugs. Like I'm depressed. Here's a picture of my gun. Don't go to school tomorrow. That kind of stuff happens.
Or people will put like a gun up to their head just saying like about to end my life or something like that. And it's like
Yeah, and
I like I've saw videos like
this could
this one
all be
streamer,
prevented.
yeah,
Really.
it was like this one streamer, he got a donation and it was like a $10 donation and it's like the dude said thought or no, it was like $20. I don't know, I can't remember the exact amount, but it's like thought I'd just give like the last bit of money to my favorite streamer before I blow my brains out. And then the streamer
I
just instantly
remember
stopped
that, and he stopped the
yeah,
entire stream.
he stopped everything that he was doing and he said, "No, talk to someone right now. There are people that care about you. There are people that are around you. Like people that need you.
And it saved his
You are a
life.
part of this community. You are a part of this family." And he's like, "You know what? No, I'm gonna start another stream tomorrow at 9, and you're gonna be there. You're gonna be in the chat. You're gonna talk. I'm gonna see that, and you're gonna be okay. And you're gonna get better." And he actually saved him and prevented it.
I remember
And
that. I watched that.
It's real. Like it was a really nice, heartwarming video. It was really nice to see that there are still people that can do that. There are still people that really care, and I love that. I just love the fact that there are people that are still out there trying to help, and it's like I don't know, it's nice. So
You are still there, correct?
yeah, I'm still
Yeah, I
here.
was just having a little bit of an issue with my computer for a second. It was signing me out. I just
Oh,
wanted to
that's
check. There we go. All better. I just wanted to make sure my internet didn't go out.
Oh. I'm just kind of like reading through chat right now.
Yeah, I am too. Don't get us started on this Fortnite trend.
Honestly, I understand that people
Nick. God,
what? Okay,
actually,
look,
now I need
I
to cough.
understand.
Oh no.
Okay, nice. I understand that people don't like Fortnite, and
Oh,
that's perfectly
really
fine with me.
fast.
I don't.
Resin said, or Raisin, I don't want to mess it up. Said Dr. Lupo stream. He's an
Yeah,
amazing
Dr.
dude.
Lupo.
Oh wow, I should have
Yeah.
probably read that. Neck.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it was Dr. Lupo. Yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah, that's who he was. But it's like,
I
understand- I'm-
my bad.
like, okay, let me just say this real quick. I'm perfectly
Okay.
fine with people not liking Fortnite for the game, but you can't deny the fact that it's got a good community.
Good
It's like
community.
if people in the community, yeah, good community. It's like the streamers and like YouTubers. It's like I've seen people get into like plenty of fights and stuff, but then
And
it's
that
like they'll work
community
it
is
out,
good.
and then they'll work it out, they'll fix it, and it's like there are people spreading positivity and trying to be like nice,
Uh-huh.
being happy, being funny, and it's like you can't deny the fact that the community is good and it's having a positive impact.
One thing that I just kind of wanted to throw out there, a little bit off subject, is feel free to interact with us in the chat, because me and Nick
Yeah,
are both
well-
frequently reading it and reading stuff off of it.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
pretty much just whenever
within
Hunter starts
reason.
talking, I'll go through reading it.
Yeah, so just kind of like chip in stuff, and if you have like, I'm not trying to plug, but like if you have friends who you think would be interested in kind of the topics we're talking about, feel free to have them join the conversation as well. Because I'd love to hear other people's inputs and just kind of put everything together and have a nice group conversation about this almost.
Yeah, and another thing, it's like the way of like showing how cool you are in an argument is just fighting the kid. Like last year, we had 5 fights in just our lunch
Oh, I
period.
remember that.
Like, and then everyone was just like freaking out about it. They're all trying to like record it, and people are just getting into fights just to record it, just to show like and be like more well known in the school or something like that. And it's like fighting is actually the dumbest thing ever. Why would I want to fight someone when I could talk to them and verbally hash it out rather than just getting into a fight, getting suspended, probably getting hurt, and then just end up not gaining anything from it, just frustration? Why not talk about it and understand and then try and like work out a solution? It's just like if we both really don't like each other, then we could just try and avoid each other. Or if we can find like a middle ground to reach and then kind of work from there or something like that. It's like that would be a way better way of doing it, but no one wants to do that because they're all just like, oh, you're a guy and you do that, you're a faggot. That's the way it is. It's like if you're a guy and you show emotion, then you're honest, people will just call you gay.
Oh my gosh, I was just about to say that.
And people use gay as an insult. Can
People-
we stop doing that?
Really, actually, people, I mean, probably half the people in this chat that I actually know, you don't have to actually answer into this or not, all thought I was gay when they first met me. And I'm not. I mean, I have nothing wrong with that. Like, nothing wrong, I have nothing against people who are gay, bisexual, any of that. Like, I'm perfectly fine with this. I have plenty of friends who are bisexual, mainly. Like, I'm perfectly fine with it. But basically, every single person that has met me has always thought that I was gay or bisexual. And I ask them why, and they're just like, well, it's because, like, you're nice. Like, I don't want to sound, like, selfish in that manner, but, like, you're nice, you actually talk to people, you're respectful to people. Well, that's what you should do. Everyone should be like that. And just the fact that you respect people and you're nice to people automatically means you're gay, basically.
Yeah, it's people just don't understand that people care.
Yeah, and again, that,
It's
like you
not
said, that
socially
should
acceptable.
not be an insult.
It really
it's a
shouldn't.
sexuality.
There's
It's
nothing
not.
wrong with it. It's 2018.
Really.
Another thing about 2018, it's just like there's always like the whole meme of it's 2018, don't do this. Like I feel like people shouldn't get offended easily, but then people should stop like insulting a certain way because they're like, it's like with comedians. Comedians have to like watch what they say because people get easily offended now, and it's like at the end of the day, you're coming to a comedy show. You know that everything is not being taken seriously. You could tell when something is serious when something
Yes,
isn't.
that
It's a
is one
comedy
thing
show.
people
You
need
should
to
understand that he's
realize.
not seriously doing that.
There is a big difference between a joke and something real. Now, this could go like an actual offense. There could be something all the way back from, like, what's the word for it? Like a friend argument sort of thing, up to YouTubers saying things like the whole PewDiePie situation. Especially recently, reviewing, because he has his meme review series, he's reviewing that meme on the Demi Lovato with the drug overdose, and he says it and makes a joke about it. Oh, he's an offensive person, let's all give him hate because he made fun of someone who overdosed. That's not what he was doing.
no.
He was reviewing something, and everybody just took it out of context, and that always happens.
Yeah, and I feel like with the whole Demi Lovato situation, you shouldn't necessarily bully her, but it's like, I understand giving her support, but it's like, it gets to a certain point where you can't give them like so much support because then it's like they start to rely on it. You don't want them to rely on your support.
Yeah.
You want their support to get them back on their feet, and then you want them to rely being on their feet, not on the drugs or from your support. Because it's like, she was clean for 6 years and then she relapsed. It's supporting, like, I understand that you gotta support her and help her get through it, but also, you know, you gotta just be like, not, at least I think so. I don't really know the whole, I've never been in a situation like that. I've never been in a situation where someone's like overdosed or like super high on drugs and is just trying to like get off of it. I've never really experienced that, so I don't know. I'm just kind of saying what I think or what I would do. So you gotta be supportive, but not to the point where they rely on it.
Yeah. I think that it should be not like, oh, don't worry, people overdose all the time, it's not a big deal. It should be more like, hey, just so you know, we're all here for you. And if you sorry, I'm still like dying, but If you need somebody to talk to, there's people there. Like, that's the kind of support she should be getting. Not like, oh, don't worry, it's just an overdose.
Yeah. It's like, and people shouldn't be hating on her for it either, because it is a problem. I know that. Like,
It's from popularity, especially all those
Yeah, I know.
Disney stars. Miley
And I-
Cyrus.
yeah.
It's
I know
all
this is-
trying to break that image of being that goody. That makes
Yeah, and I know
sense.
it's gonna sound like kind of cringy, but it's like I've watched Breaking Bad.
Uh-huh.
Like, I kind of understand addiction like a little bit, because I feel like the show did a good job of portraying it, but it's not like it's 100%, you know. But it's like I kind of get that it's like a huge problem, and then like, and I've also seen it was like when I was super into Lost, it was like one of the characters, Charlie. I think he was hooked on heroin, I think, and then like it was this one dude that was like super philosophical, and he's just like, Charlie would just keep on saying like, "Give me back my drugs," and then he would just say, "You're gonna have 3 times to ask for it, and then on the 3rd time, if you ask for it, I'll give it to you." And it's like he went through like a couple days without the drugs, and you could just kind of see like his body breaking down and dying from like not breaking down and dying, but like he was just getting incredibly sick. He was like throwing up. He just looked so bad because he was going through the process of getting over his addiction. And then it's like, at the end, he was completely clean. He was completely fine. And then he just said, "Give me back my drugs," and threw them in the fire. So it was really well done. Like, I thought it was a very good episode, but like for the most, I couldn't get into Lost. It was just too confusing for me. I tried a couple times and it just wasn't really for me.
Yeah. By the way, if you guys have any topics you want us to focus on, go ahead and
Yeah.
put those in.
We're just kind of spitballing and going
Right,
from.
yeah, right now it's
different
just we
points.
started on one topic and just have been branching, so
That's also like another thing I love is like conversations where it's like you aren't gaming and you're just talking one-on-one with someone. I like how cool, like it's really cool to just like see where the conversation pinballs to and how it just changes and
Yeah.
different things happen. Because I've done this on multiple occasions where it's like I'll stay up and talk to someone for like a couple hours, and then we'll talk about like serious subjects and
yeah, and those
stuff about life. And it's really cool seeing how, even though we're teenagers, we can still be serious.
yeah, those nighttime talks are
mature.
like the best, which is kind of why we push this podcast to 9 o'clock at night, which I mean isn't that late.
It's
if you
really not
think
late.
about it, but it's kind of just like where you go and just have a conversation, and it's like real, I guess you could say.
Yeah. And you can like actually like connect to the person, like build on that friendship or potential friendship, depending on the way you look at it. Because that's also another thing. Is like another thing from like the Fortnite community was like Myth. He was explaining how he has like no friends. Like there's like a lot of people that he talks with, but the people that he really trusts, he doesn't really have many of. And like that's kind of like what got me to adopt that idea, because I had like the idea of like I have like so many friends, but then it's like when I come to think about it, it's like who do I talk to on a daily basis? And it's only like a couple people, because there are only like a couple people I actually talk to. Because I feel like for the most part, what's friends is people that you can handle talking to until someone better along comes along. Like, and my English is really bad. Like
Oh,
until
I'm
someone
with you.
better comes along, it's just like, okay, I'll talk with you, but as soon as like one of my better friends comes by, I'm gonna stop talking to you and talk to them and be with their group.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like it kind of is right now, which that's not really being friends, that's just being okay with talking with someone.
That's one thing that kind of sucks about like high school. Like going into middle school, I had a lot of people that I talked to, good friends, like I would have considered. And then as soon as I got into high school, they don't even want to make eye contact.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, what did I do to you? But it's just, oh, I found my group that I want to hang out with now, and you're nothing.
Yeah, it's like people
And
are like a
it's
little
crazy to
messed up.
think like you have all these people right now, and all these people, I mean, I can understand it, are worried about drama going on in high school, but as soon as you graduate senior year, you're gonna talk to maybe a handful of those people, maybe
Or
enough,
maybe in some
enough
cases
people to
none.
count on both of your enough people that you could count on both of your hands, if not none.
Because
Like-
the thing is, like, you have to look at your form of talking with people. Is it from hanging out, like, outside of school, or are you only talking to them through school? Because once school's over, then you don't have a way of talking to each other, and then
Yeah.
you might get busy with like your lives, where it's like your working hours don't match up, and you just don't have time to hang out, and then you just kind of like fall off. It's not like I hate you or you hate me. It's not like something like that. It's just you don't have the time for it, and maybe it's just you aren't as good friends. Like the friendship just kind of didn't last. Because I've had multiple, like, I had a friend since like 6th grade. We were like best friends, and it's like, it's weird because like I went through like a phase with this friend, I think, because like we started talking, like we were talking like a lot. Then like one summer we didn't like talk at all. He went to a different school. We kind of didn't really talk. Then like back in 9th grade, that's when we started talking. But that's when he started like getting into drugs, and that's when I kind of dropped him.
Yeah. Stephanie
And
just
it's not
said-
because like I
Oh,
hate him.
my bad.
It's just because he's doing things that I don't really like,
Yeah, and it's
and I
just
just
like,
don't want to get behind it.
yeah,
I don't
you
think
do
he's
what
a
you
terrible
want,
person.
but it's
Then-
like I'm gonna stay away from it.
Yeah.
Stephanie just said in chat, Hunter, I had a similar problem going into high school. I'd say I kept talking to about 10% of my friends, and someone
Yeah.
also brought up 2 people actually, kind of mixed, but somebody put, just think about it. You are addicted to a Juul. One pod has as much nicotine as an entire pack of cigarettes. Kids are going through pods daily. Just imagine how bad they are for you. And again,
Exactly.
those kind of things are made for people to quit smoking cigarettes. That's why they're a thing.
But at the end of the day, like it's
Not for
if you want
a-
to quit smoking cigarettes, then you should just quit. You just quit smoking in general. You
No,
should
I
just,
know.
Like, do
I
something
mean-
that's like maybe not
Either
as
way,
bad.
if I know somebody who smokes, I would rather them vape than smoke.
Yeah, I guess.
Cause
And also another problem I have with TV shows that they also kind of like portray like people smoking, like
that just has
quite
to do
a
with
lot.
the whole media in general.
Yeah, I know. It's like they show cigarettes like a lot because it's like it's supposed to be like a way of relieving stress, and then
Mm.
people are just like, okay, I'll try that, and then one thing
Yeah.
leads to another, and you're addicted, and you have lung cancer. It's just it's bad.
Yeah.
The way the world is, and like the way media is, because social media, it's like it's so powerful, and so many people that have the power don't wield it right. They don't really like think, and they really like need to. Like I feel like they should, because like people like Logan Paul. I know it's like, wow, Logan Paul, what a great topic, but it's like, you know, he's made like a lot of bad decisions, and I still think that he does.
And
Like
kids look up to him.
even before the whole Suicide Forest thing, it's like the whole like he did a video where it was like he dressed up as a Pikachu in Japan.
Well, that
He
was
throwing-
all around the same time.
And I know, but it's like he was throwing like Pokeballs
Still.
and cars and stuff, and it's like I get that you want to like maybe like go out and do like a vlog in the real world,
See-
but if you're just disturbing
Uh-huh.
people and like pausing them and like disrupting their day, that's just being toxic. That's like that's not really being funny or showing a good example. It's promoting just annoying people that don't want to deal with it. Like I get the whole talking to people and then them being fine with it, like doing like random stuff in the public, but it's like you're just straight up messing with people and kind of like ruining their day or slowing their day down when they could have like a lot of plans that they're trying to get through, and you're just kind of pausing it for your own sake.
Yeah, the biggest thing is like the media, basically. All
Yeah,
issues.
it's-
Oh, I just realized there was an ad playing. My bad. But
Is there
people-
really?
There was on the
running
stream.
ads on this?
No, on Spotify. There was an ad playing because
Oh.
I don't have money to spend on that to get
Okay.
premium.
I don't use Spotify enough.
Yeah, I only use it because there's a good playlist on it, to be honest. But
The only time I use wow, okay, hang on, give me a second. The only time I use Spotify
this is
is to
Spider-Fi?
listen to yeah. The only time I use Spotify is like listen to like Misfits podcast. I still haven't done that in a while. I've only seen like the first 2 or 3 episodes, or listened to the first 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, but kind of elaborating on that subject, people really look up to influencers and like celebrities as their main source of how I should act, how I should dress. I mean, all these styles coming back from like the whole Timberland boots thing was from at least I want to kind of relate it back to the Drake Hotline Bling video. Nobody wore Timberlands. Those are work boots, but as soon as he wore them in his video, everyone had to buy them. And not even lying, I joined that trend because I like boots, but it's people look up to those kind of people, like to influencers.
Yeah, and it's people, they just another thing relating back to rappers, it's just like in Rice Gum, because I watched like the whole, it was iDubbbz doing Content Cop on Rice Gum, and I feel like iDubbbz, while he like memes things like a lot, he had a really good way of attacking Rice Gum, and it's like he did like a whole diss track song, and then Rice Gum's diss track song back. It's just one of the things that he kind of yelled at Rice Gum a lot for was flexing, just constantly showing how much money you have and how you're doing in life. Because like he did like something that was like giving money to like homeless people, and he just straight made it rain on them. Like it wasn't respectful at all. It was just being mean. And sure, the homeless person was probably still grateful because it's money, but it's because they're homeless and they need money. They're probably struggling just to get food. And sure, maybe you're giving them money, but you're just being a dick about it. You can just hand them the money. You don't have to like make it rain on them with like singles.
Yeah.
It's just so annoying. And then like his response to the whole getting called out for flexing. It's like, here, let me use a drone to zoom out of me standing on top of my mansion. Here, let me show you my money. Here, let me show you my watch. Here, let me show you all my cool clothes. And it's like, why? That just proves his point even further.
Yeah.
What was the point of doing that? I don't understand why he would think to do that. It just doesn't make sense to me. You're just hurting yourself more. But of course, he didn't get any hate for it because his viewers they support him because they look up to him, and they don't really think about the whole situation. They just think you don't like him, then that means that you're probably just a bad person and a hater. And I don't know, people they don't really think for themselves anymore. They don't really be themselves because of how the world is
Money
now.
controls people. As soon as people get money, it's like, okay.
Money and power.
Money, yes, money and a following.
Yeah, it's like the more subscribers or followers or anything that you have, the more powerful you are.
I mean, Logan Paul, for instance, he lives in California. There was some video where he bought like 20,000 pounds of ice and put it in his driveway just to have snow in his yard for one photo shoot and to mess around in it.
Yeah.
And then it ended up getting leaks in his house and the whole area was flooded. If you have that much money to where that's your problem, like where you want to go buy $100,000 worth of ice, there's charities you could help, especially with his situations. You can help suicide prevention with your ad revenue, with your merch money.
Yeah, and I think that PewDiePie actually touched on this, and he was saying like when Logan Paul was doing like the whole he was gonna do like a documentary on suicide and how it's a serious problem. He was saying don't do it, not because it's a bad thing, but because you'd be doing it for the wrong reasons. He would just be doing it to
sympathy.
Yeah, he'd just be doing it to get his whole reputation back up, not because he wants to do it to actually help. He's doing it for the wrong reason, pretty much. And it's like, sure, he donated, it was like what, $1 million to suicide prevention.
Yeah,
and like that's great and all, but you're just doing it just to try and fix your reputation and become better. And it's like that one video that I did, I actually really enjoyed it. And I thought it was really well done.
I saw that the one prevention
and
video.
And then the next video, it's just instantly back to who he was and who he was after the whole like before the Suicide Forest. It's like nothing changed. This video was so well done. You could see that he was serious. He was very smart about it. And he just goes back to his normal character. And that's because his normal character is going to get way more views and he's going to earn him way more money. That's all he wants. He just wants money and power.
If you want to keep talking, keep talking, but you have to give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. I have to check on my dogs.
All right.
I'll just be right back if you want to interact with the chat for a minute.
All right.
Sorry, but I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So if anyone in the chat wants to give me like some topic or something for me to kind of like rant about, I can just go through and kind of like rant it for a bit, because right now Hunter's just checking on his dogs, like he said. So pretty much I'll probably just go through like rechat or say some stuff, because like I don't know, I feel like I have a lot of opinions even though I have not enough experience. I think is the best way to put it, because like I'm 15. I hardly have even lived my life. I haven't even really lived a life to begin with, and it's like I don't know much. But from hearing different topics and how people think in a certain way, I've kind of tried to adopt my own idea of that and like understand in a way. You know, I've trying to understand subjects that I don't really know much about, kinda, I guess. Like the main thing I know like is obviously high school. Well, I wouldn't even say that I know like a lot about high school, but I'm in high school, so it's like I have a lot of opinions based like around a lot of things. And I feel like the way high school is right now, it's very bad, not very well done. Well, at least our high school. It's like really, it's bad the way kids are, and I don't really know why we keep supporting it and why people keep doing this or acting like it. So, hang on, I'm gonna go through chat. You're not wrong. Some people do take it too far when they think of acceptance from people. Yeah, people do. It's really weird. Let's see. Talk about. Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
I am
exactly.
back and I brought tissue so I could stop dying.
Wow. I was just going through and reading the chat.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like rioting and destroying things is not going to change anything. Protesting and giving your points and explaining and writing more of like like giving like more information and your reasoning for that and having like an actual serious debate is way smarter than just saying you're wrong, I'm right, get over it.
If
That
you don't
doesn't
mind me
help.
asking, what subject are we on right now?
Pretty much it's just like I was just going through a chat and one of the things was it's like talk about how stupid people are thinking that they can change things just by writing and destroying, and it's like that doesn't change. It just
Oh,
makes people hate you in that group more and view it as a bad thing.
Twitter is a hate place.
I've tried using social media. I've pretty much given up on social media for the most part. I use Instagram and Snapchat, and I don't even really use them that much. It's like it's I don't know.
Twitter, just social media in general, is such a affecting something that just affects a lot.
Okay, hang
And
on, really quick. Someone put in the chat. It was you have to make sure that you're really educated about whatever you're talking about. I kind of disagree. I feel like you should say like what you think about it, and then like someone that actually knows the topic, hear out what they have to say, and then take what they have to say, and then build on what you already know. I feel like not being really educated on a subject is a better way of learning and understanding. But you gotta take multiple viewpoints. You can't just take one person's viewpoint. You have to take like multiple people saying like what they think about a certain subject, and then you
uh,
kind of take it, study it a bit more, and then develop your own opinion based off of what you've heard.
yeah, yeah, that's kind of an iffy topic. Oh, wow, Jerry just mentioned something in the chat. I need to elaborate on that. Social media brings out the worst of people.
It
Let's
definitely
take
does
that in
because
another perspective, as in people think because they're typing something on their phone, because they're posting whatever, making a YouTube video, whatever you want to say, because they're doing that, it's not affecting people.
yeah, exactly.
And
It's like
it's still hurting your reputation. You could go to school and be the quiet person and then go home and still under your name go around on Instagram and call people sluts and ugly and stuff. And that's literally not helping you at all. Like it's because people just are like, "Oh, well, if I'm typing, nobody can hurt me." That's still hurting your reputation, how people think of you, and you still have to face those people. It's not like you're fully away from them.
yeah, that and it's like social media gives you the cover of knowing that you could be under like a secret identity. Like you can easily create like another Instagram account or Snapchat account
Yeah.
or any account, and then no one knows who you are, and then you can say things about people. And it's like, sure, you might think like, hey, it's the internet, who cares? But it's like it's still going to affect people, and it will still haunt them. And it's like I find that there are times when like I'm on social media, and I feel more confident because it's just me typing. I feel like I could say more things, and I'm okay with it. But it's like I don't know. It's just something that's really that good.
Yeah.
I feel like it can be good, but for the most part, it's like bad. I feel like for the most part, social media, while it has like a lot of benefits, it has also like a lot of problems in how it works and how it runs.
Yeah. By the way, emo kid, Stephanie has something to say. I'm sorry,
Uh,
Tyler told me I had to call you emo kid.
no, emo
But
child. Yeah,
oh,
no,
dang it,
my
I
whole
messed it
nickname
up.
history.
Dang it, I
Um,
messed it up. All right. Well, either way,
when you're
Stephanie did
debating
elaborate
something,
back on your topic that you were talking about with.
and like talking against someone, like it depends on like what you mean by talking against them. Like if you're saying like you are dumb for thinking this, then yeah, I agree that that's just stupid. But if you're saying this is what I think, I'm not too sure if this is right, can you elaborate and help me out? That is a more structured and good way of saying it. And then it's like the person will say something to you, and then you'll say like, hey, but what about this and this and this, and then you could like elaborate on those points even more. to help them understand. But screaming at someone doesn't help you learn. So it's like you have to be open-minded. You have to be more accepting of the fact that people have different opinions and people don't think the same as you. You know, you have to understand that you're not always right, factual-wise and opinion-wise, because opinions are never right. Opinions will never be right because they're opinions.
Well, okay,
It changes
that's kind of an
from
iffy.
people.
That's kind of an iffy subject.
It
there,
depends on
'cause
it depends on like, but it's like if you're talking like this is the best
everybody
game
has
ever
an
or this is the
opinion.
best YouTuber ever, then it's like it's not
Everybody
really.
has an opinion, and they can choose how they word their opinion
Mm-hmm.
and the kind of evidence they put back into it. But I don't think saying that like opinions are never right kind of thing or is really a fair judgment, because I guess everybody has like their, I guess, freedom of speech, and like they can say what they want and people can elaborate on that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the world's just it's
Okay,
really
Stephanie
weird.
said no. Okay, I mean, if you're like debating something and you're trying to get people to see your side of things, you have to know what you're talking about and can't just go in
Yes.
and be like,
Okay.
I'm right, you're wrong, and that's that.
Yes. Okay. Then in that sense, I do agree with that. You have to know
And Jerry
what you're
just,
saying to get people on your side.
I'm
That is
really
100%.
bored, just elaborated. What bugs me is when people confuse opinions with facts.
Yeah.
Because there's a big difference between that. And you can't just go around and say, like, something is right. And because
Yeah.
I say it's right and my perspective on it's right, it's right.
Yeah. Like they just, I don't know, and people just saying I'm right because I'm right and you're wrong. That's like the whole dumbest thing ever. And it's like the whole thing is like the whole like joke behind marrying or like being in a successful marriage is just agreeing with the woman constantly and saying that the woman's constantly right. If I'm ever in a marriage, I'm not doing that. Okay, I don't care.
I
If
think
you're
that should be with
wrong,
any
you're wrong.
relationship.
Yeah, anything in general. If you're wrong, you're
The
wrong.
easiest, you have to
It doesn't
talk
matter
to.
who's right. It just matters your understanding of the subject.
Yeah, and talking about the thing and actually coming to a conclusion. And, like, explaining both, kind of like, almost like a law situation, explaining both sides of the situation and then coming to a conclusion, right? That's how arguments, that's how relationships should be. It shouldn't just be. Yeah, I don't really know how to explain it.
Yeah, it's weird.
This is kind of an iffy topic, and since I wasn't really here for the introduction of it, I'm kind of confused on what
Yeah, I
we're
know,
arguing
it's
here. But
It's just kind of general topics, I think, more so. We're just kind of going with general stuff.
yeah, basically this is just deep thoughts.
Yeah, just
late
deep
late
conversations.
night deep thoughts.
Yeah. Like, it's pretty much just, if you're hearing Discord, then it's probably
Yeah,
from
no,
me.
that's not mine. That's Nick's. Mine's muted.
Yeah, that's my whole thing, man.
Thank you, streamer mode.
I can't do that because I have to stream. Like, I can't do that.
Jerry just put deep thoughts with Hunter and Nickelback.
Oh, no.
Oh god, that's a new one. I like that.
I don't. Can we stick to
Oh
Nick at
no,
Night?
I'm
That
dying.
one's better.
Hold on.
That sore throat feels bad. I hate
Yeah.
sore throats. Like, okay, hang on.
But
I
again,
wanna
let's
hear-
try and start on a sort of a new topic.
Yeah, but just give me a second to ask this question. So
Okay.
everyone in chat, what is your opinion? What is worse, sore throats or headaches?
Headaches,
For me,
because I get bad migraines.
yeah, it depends, like on the severity of it. I would probably say headaches because it depends on the severity of sore throat. I can kind of deal with it, but if it's like a really bad headache, then no. I just hate them both, and it's so annoying. And like I've had days where I'm in school and then I have both at the same time, and it's like, wow, this is great. This is great. So much fun. I love having headaches while in math class, and then having a sore throat. So it's like if I want to drink some water, nope, it hurts.
Hey, by the way, if you guys are enjoying the music, there is a link down in the description.
Yes, because I'm 100% enjoying the music that I can't hear.
Well, I meant more for the stream.
Yes, I know. I get it. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. what are these responses? Sore throats, headaches, sore throats, headaches, sore throats, and then headaches.
We're alternating.
Mixed opinion. Yeah, it's just it
50-50. Let's
depends
start
on
a
what
poll.
Can we do that?
No.
Can we clip things in this?
It's not possible, and sadly. Or it is, but it's not something I can do quickly.
Can we do
add.
clips? Oh wait,
Add.
on
Okay.
Twitch.
No, I mean I could, but you'd have to give me a while to set it up.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's
It
not
doesn't
worth
matter.
it. Oh, also, if you guys have any like future type pictures, like or gifs, like we have in the
Like,
background,
Like we have just
post
pretty much
those
like
links because
city,
like I'm
late
trying
night
to,
thing.
yeah, like late night, kind of that dark theme, future punk sort of style, like that pixelated. Send them over.
Yeah, I love stuff like this. It's really nice to like look at. It's just like a really nice, chill but complex background. You know?
All right, but yeah, if you guys have any topics you want us to kind of start on, I don't want to say we ran out of things to say, but we're kind of at a halt at the moment.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised. Like we got a full hour in.
Yeah,
Like,
first of
just
all,
from
we got a
us,
full
it's really
hour
nice.
in, and second of all, when me and Nick were first talking about doing this podcast, we're like, maybe we'll get like 2 viewers. But I'm impressed with you guys. You guys like have
10 viewers. That's honestly more than I thought. I
mean,
really didn't think that anyone was gonna
you
be
guys
into
have
this.
stuck with the stream the entire time. Like the same, at least
Some
10
people have.
people have been here this entire time.
For solid hour, and I feel like podcasts, like, in order for them to be like really well done, well, it depends. It depends on like who the podcast is with and what they're talking about. But I feel like for the most part, podcasts should be like around an hour.
Yeah. No, I'm good with that. And I mean, it's been an hour and it looks like 6-7 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
It's really
honestly, I'm just
good. Okay, and
I'm
hang
glad
on,
you
just
guys
really
are sticking through it. And if you like this podcast, encourage us to do this more.
Yeah. Okay, so there are
Charlie,
two topics.
we kind of already
that-
went through that, the influences
Yeah, we
with the
kind of
media.
got through it, where it's like you have to live up to a certain standard, but then there's also like Tyler was putting in disrespect and like wants to hear my opinion on it.
Disrespect in what aspect?
I think just disrespect in general.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like you just
Oh,
have
that's
to
a big one, especially people like teenagers against adults. That's a big one.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like it gets to a point where it's like you have to disrespect to be looked up to, not even respected, just to have people look up to you. And it's like respect is something that not many people have, or not many people get.
Or
And
care.
it's exactly. It's like the way the world is. Like people don't really care. They just kind of pretend to care or think that they do when they really don't. You know, it's people don't really respect a lot of people. It's like there's a whole bunch of disrespect. I feel like most disrespect goes out towards women with the way rappers are now. I've already kind of touched on this, but like it's a lot of like here. This is something I wanted to say earlier, but I completely forgot about it. There's this one, like a couple like girls that I follow on, is not really like women. They it was like one OMG with Firefox. She used to be like a YouTuber. She kind of still does YouTube videos, but it's not as common anymore.
Who?
OMG, it's Firefox.
Okay.
And pretty much I don't know if it's still on her story, but she occasionally seems to put on her story sometimes where it's like showing like people like swiping up and like talking on her story saying like, hey, send me nudes, or can you send me tit pics, or do you want to fuck, or something like that. And it's like, is that really the only thing that you could say? Like you can't just say nice things about her, you just want to ask for sexual favors? Like, can you seriously not come up with anything else? Is that the only thing that you want?
Some people are just so desperate. But it's to a point like where some people won't even go out looking for relationships. Like one thing I don't understand, and again, I'm not trying to offend anybody here, but like people who always are talking about like being sad or depressed that they're not in a relationship, but turning it around and not even trying to push for a relationship, like not trying to go for a girl. They're just like those people, okay, I'm just gonna go home and watch porn. And that's basically it. And then just be sad that they don't have a relationship. Well, first of all, don't be going into a relationship trying to just get sex out of somebody. But second of all, like, if you're gonna complain about that, at least try. Does that make sense?
Exactly. I get what you mean.
There's
Like, you have
people
to, like,
who just
try
go
and
on
make it happen.
stories like, "Oh, you're hot, send nudes."
That's
That's
not that's
why.
just disgusting and
Why?
repulsive. You're
Again,
not being a good person.
disrespectful. First of
Yeah,
all, majorly disrespectful, but why would you ask somebody that in that scenario?
yeah. It's so annoying. Like the way people are. Like there's this one video, and it was Pokemon. She was playing Fortnite. She did like duos film, and she got like this 12-year-old that was just saying like some sexual weird things to her like throughout the entire game. It was the weirdest and most annoying thing ever. It's like it was so painful to watch because that's a 12-year-old saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was, oh my god, it was so bad.
Um.
Like it was,
Yeah.
I just, it was, I'm just, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just, it's so sad, like the way the world is.
Just some of the. Again, it's like that role model thing. It's just looking up to people in that aspect. You get what I
Yeah,
mean?
trying to be them rather than being themselves, which I kind of went through for a bit. Like I wasn't really trying to be myself anymore because I didn't accept myself, but I'm kind
Yeah.
of
I think we
starting
all
to.
kind of go through that phase every once in a while,
Yeah,
where it's just like, how am I to other people? Like, how do I want
yeah,
to be? Am I really being myself? And at a point, it's just like, and this is how I am now, and hopefully I stay like this. Is it's, I'm me, and if you don't like that and you want to have an issue with it, we don't have to be friends.
exactly.
Because I have the people that I know are gonna stick with me and be with me, and I don't have to worry about losing one friend that doesn't really like the way that I act versus having people that I know who are always going to be there for me. And just as kind of like a topic, sort of like in a wrap up, because we've been going for a while now and kind of running out of things to say, I guess, is there is always people there for you. And as much as it sounds like that whole subject where people are just like, oh, you are depressed, there's somebody you can talk to. Think about it. There
It
is
could be a teacher.
always
Like,
always somebody who loves you.
yeah, it could be like you could even reach out to like a teacher. It doesn't have to be like a current teacher, a
Yeah.
previous teacher that maybe you know like really liked you as a
Or
student. You could say to them
even as
like,
much as it
"Hey,
might
you're
not
going."
seem like it might not seem like somebody loves you or is there for you, there is always somebody there and who loves you.
Yeah,
It could be family, parents, grandparents, a friend, a secret admirer, a teacher, really anybody. Just never feel like you're alone. And I have a lot of people who have really been in that rough situation and they're like, "Oh, there's nobody for me to talk to. I don't have anybody who I can go and be myself and get things off my mind." And I have a lot of friends who have gone through stress and almost like basically committing suicide because they just don't have anybody to talk to. And I know it seems better to just keep your thoughts to yourself, but there's actually, like, I've gone through stressful situations where I'm home every night crying and bawling my eyes out, just feeling like there's no way out of it. But talking to someone makes so much more of a difference.
yeah.
No
It
matter
really
what it
does help.
is, you could, especially at least in my situation, like, I've talked to my mom about this kind of situation, is like, even if it seems like, I don't, you could have done heroin, right? And, like, I think we can all agree that's kind of a bad thing to do heroin. And
Yeah,
my mom is like, even if you do heroin and you feel bad about it, talk to me. And I'll always be there for you no matter what. And I just want to throw that out there that everybody should know that there is somebody always there to talk to you, who cares about you, who's not going to think that you're crazy. And it doesn't have to be like a school counselor or someone. It could just be a friend, a co-worker, another person that you go to class with. It's just
yeah.
getting
Like if
that
you know
off
that
your
there's like,
chest is helpful, and somebody's always going to be there for you.
yeah, it's like if you know there's like if you know some kid that's in like that's like really involved with the school and like really wants to help out with the school. If you reach out to them, I'm sure that they will care because you go to their school and they really want to help. That they will probably do their best to help you.
Yeah.
At least I hope so.
So,
And
to anybody out there who is sad, who is going through things, just realize somebody's always going to be there for you. Somebody loves you. No matter what you think, no matter what kind of fight you're in with them, somebody loves you and is going to be there for you, cares about you. So just remember that.
Yeah, I think like when I was going through like my little like depressed phase, like I didn't really want to talk about it because I didn't want to bring other people down with me. That was like my whole reasoning for it, which in reality was a pretty stupid way of looking at it, when I should have realized that if they care about me, they won't feel down. They will do their best to help.
Yeah.
And it's like I probably should have reached out to help a bit sooner. But it doesn't matter because like I'm still here and I'm happy with where I'm at right now. So I'm happy with how everything's turned out.
So, yeah, I just remember, if you're ever sad, if you're ever depressed, if you're ever feeling down, somebody's always there, and you're always gonna have somebody to talk to make you feel better. And I don't know, I don't want to get too deep into it, but somebody's there for you. And I know I kind of keep elaborating on this subject, and I don't want to keep it dragging on too long, because eventually it's going to be like, whatever, we get the point. But if you're ever feeling down, if you're ever sad or something, somebody's there to talk to you. And just remember that. So.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
I think that's going to wrap up our podcast.
Yeah, I think so.
If you guys basically go into the comments, because this is going to be a video once the stream's done, and comment things that you want to see in our next podcast next Saturday, 9 o'clock. So,
yeah, and if you want to, even though this is on a Sunday, but
yeah,
if you want to like be a part of the podcast, we could like try and like figure something out.
Yeah, we might create a Discord and let people come and chime in and talk to us. So.
Yeah, and what would we do for like a podcast? Like if we wanted to have a special guest, would it just be like one person at a time, or like two people?
Yeah,
like,
probably like maybe a group type thing. But either way, comment down below what you guys want to see in the next podcast next Saturday, 9 o'clock, and yeah, I will see you all basically in the next podcast. So
or even in school.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.
Peace. Bye, guys.